There were a different state. Before Soviet Union, remember that territory is called Russian Empire. So Russian Empire is first of all the religion of the state. So the Tsar is the first person. So it's a son of a god, kind of, because he is a ruler and he is a captain of the church as well, recognized by church and the ruler. What church is? I did write in the previous articles. Here we speak about construction. Because, for example, the wife of the Tsar is a kind of, this is someone holy who also correspond to etiquette and demonstrate some goodness, some uh, he, she followed her husband. She is a good in sense that she carry the people, she care the morality. So is it even it is accepted by church in the good Russian sense? This is a good wife, a good woman. So this is a good woman for the husband and her woman role to be icon to this persons who is also wanna be represent the good of the type that all to be good and the, as well as the good looking and so on. So then a new state, USSR, Kultur Kampf we watched because would tell us today that the political side or the political is the basic what is important to reach a good level of the country. Politica correspond to the effect that happen in society and adapted to because to rule that mass when you once get some position you rule them if everyone disagree the ruler gone and but there is many things uh, before to decide and analyze something it's to understand what you're looking for, what do you because many people with those ego also the same as some politicians they also care at the present moment of myself of my ass to put it somewhere that I'm fine. Okay, of course I understand and there is a ideology, strategy of the country, and the face of the country, and the culture of the country, and so all this state change. They even Russia, represented by Stalin, not represented in general anymore. They're Russia. It was USSR, a group of countries that. Even we can suspect that work yourself of state and receive uh, some stability of those situations, but not for long as you see. Why it could be? The reason could be the same that some group of the country want to overrepresent importance of Germany and as well destroys Russia because of it as well going to be stronger and stronger politically in the world. And we know that it was some Germans living in Russia, architects, others persons that we know and remember because it's not easy to delete them from the history because they are all the buildings made, the tables nominated as they was next to Tsar, also the people. So to present to workers once and it's Germany, you see, you live very bad. Now we have an industry where very easily showing you that you have a progress or you have a money At the same, the state could have a better future for the empire. The same to change the type of political because of this Marx, labor, and so on. It also was for, already for the new line in the new reality with industrialization. Different society would be everywhere anyway. And so to over with the Germany, that's where they start in Russia, and then Germany was inside of this group of people in Europe with the enemies, let's say, or concurrent at least, to explain it differently. They could explain it to Russians and you really bad because of Germans, but they have your country, they or tell something like this, the story. In reality, we watched not quite well the war inside of the country in front between white and red, between workers and the white as all it is the same workers were. It's not like all war was red, were opposite. It's ideology that had protest. And the church, and also why nominated Rasputin was like this because of this marriage with Nikolai, with a German woman. And it could be also the story inside and the Tsar figure, the Tsar and the workers were going against the church with one sense and with another. There is too many doubts to say like this. We can only take the three lines and show it differently. As a small film would be different in showing the same story. And to see by eye and realize how it could be in general because
Sigmund Freud, Group Psychology and the Analysis of the Ego. As for restrictions that apply only to certain classes of society, one encounters clear points, the essence of which has never been in doubt. It is to be expected that these oppressed classes will envy the advantages of the privileged, and will do anything to free themselves from the majority of their privations. Where this is impossible, a lasting discontent will take hold, which could lead to dangerous uprisings. But if a culture is incapable of satisfying a certain portion of its participants without presupposing the suppression of another portion, perhaps even the majority, then it is entirely understandable that these oppressed will develop an intense hostility toward the culture they strengthen with their work, but from whose fruits they receive only a negligible share. In such a case, one cannot expect the oppressed to internalize the prohibitions imposed by culture. On the contrary, they are not inclined to recognize these prohibitions and strive to destroy the culture itself, if possible, to destroy even its very prerequisites.